94.9 The Urge, Haddonfield's home for rock.
I'm Willie the Kid, and there's nothing you can do about it.
This summer, if you're planning to go camping, don't. If you're looking forward to midnight swims, don't.
Sneak on back to the campsite. Get some matches. Build us a hot fire.
It was called Camp Blackfoot. Now, this camp had a caretaker, a really evil bastard. And his name was Cropsy. And he had these garden shears, you know? But this time he chose the wrong guy. Because the kid and some of his buddies had planned a little prank that would scare the living shit out of Cropsy. Only problem was, the gag went wrong. The next thing anyone knows, Cropsy's trapped alive and burning in his bunk. All they can do is stand outside and listen to him cry out in agony. They say he smashed his way through the bunk room door, just a mass of flames.
I will return. I will have my revenge.
He lives on whatever he can catch. Right now, he's out there, watching, waiting.
Who's there?
What happened one summer 5 years ago is about to happen again, and again, and again. The Burning.
So what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the JEFFMAN316 Pop Culture Reporter channel. I'm your host, as always, JEFFMAN316. And tonight we've got Let's Talk Movies Live, where we're going to have a Q&A chat about anything movies or pop culture related. And if you want, you can watch along with us to the classic 1981 horror film, The Burning. It's rated R. It's an hour and 31 minutes. It stars, I remember Brian Backer is one of the actors in it who's I remember from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And if you're not aware, it's got Jason Alexander, George Can't Stand You himself from Seinfeld in it. So let me get the banner going. And I think we got a couple people that were already on here. I already saw Scott. He said he's ready for The Burning. And Doug was here. He said he just watched it today for the first time as well as Spirit Halloween. We'll talk about that in a minute. I saw that comment in The Hills Run Red, which is, I think, a very underrated movie. And so both of them are here and ready to go. If anybody else chimes in, I'll drop your comment up on there. So I've already got it queued up. We're going to watch it on Tubi. You don't have to watch along. We can just chat, talk about movies, whatever you want to talk about, anything you've watched on my channel or anybody else's channel. But I've already got it queued up past the first commercial, I think. So if you guys are ready, I am. So we can go ahead and get it started, and that way we can start chatting. Let me get my app going. Pretty sure I got my headphones ready. So I'm going to go ahead and start it. So if you're watching The Burning with us, like I said, I'm getting ready to start it, and we're watching it on Tubi. So that way, if it's got commercials in it, it'll give us some time to chat. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as we always say, let's go. So I forgot that this was an MGM release. Let me get my headphones set. I don't want to blow my eardrums out. Camp Blackfoot is the setting of the start of this. I haven't watched this in a while, but I was talking about it with somebody here recently, and I scanned through it. I've got this on Blu-ray from Scream Factory. Doug said he was ready, and then there's Cody. What's up, brother? What's going on, man? When was the last time you need? Doug said he watched The Burning to get ready. When does the rest of you guys watched The Burning before? Like I said, it's been a couple years from me. I remember the main character Cropsy just because that name is so silly, and I didn't. I thought they could come up with something better with that. But wasn't there another movie that had something about Cropsy in it? It seems I remember. I can't remember that. Where's that? Is that an actual camp? I don't know. Saw it within the last year. Yeah, it's pretty good. Um, there was so many copycats back then of all these horror movies. So, we watched The Prowler last week. I was pretty impressed with the gore that was in that. So yeah, thanks, man. I wear this. I got multiple dodgeball shirts, but I got a couple of Average Joes. You might have seen it in some videos. So different styles of them with the logo on it. I love dodgeball. It's in my rotation about every 2 months, Scott says. Yeah, the I don't know. It's probably been 6 months or longer since I watched this. Well, I didn't get the Scream Factory um, disc when it first came out. I remember when my FYE was closing, I think it was one of the titles that I ended up getting like 40-50% off. So I watched it then. So it was sometime last year because they closed that FYE last year, but I haven't watched it since then. Yeah, I remember this now. They do this, one of the classic mistakes of doing something where they're trying to scare him. So this is kind of similar to what they did at the beginning of Hatchet, right? Not to get off topic, dude. You don't have to. We don't. There's no topic. We don't care. I don't care if we talk about the burning. That's just something to have in the background in case we got nothing else to talk about, or we see something cool in it we can talk about. What do you think about Vince being back, Stephanie leaving again, and the potential of WWE selling? I think people are blowing the Stephanie leaving again out of proportion. She had already left, if you don't remember, last year, and was going to took a leave of absence and didn't know if she was going to come back. And then when that stuff happened with Vince and he had to leave, she came back. So she never got to take her leave of absence. I saw where she was getting her ankle operated on. So I think she delayed that as well. But Vince being back, I'm not surprised. I figured he'd find a way to get back in the company. I don't care about him running the company. I just hope that he doesn't take over creative again, because I think that a lot of the wrestlers were worried about that, and they supposedly had a meeting before SmackDown to talk about that the creative process wasn't changing. But I do think he's going to sell it. They've been talking about that anyway, but I think he would probably stay on board at least for a short period of time. We bought a company where I work about 10 years ago or so, and we kept some of the main people on board and absorbed them in and then let it transition. So I think Vince would be there for a transition period anyway. So either way. My karaoke bar is being shut down on the 4th of February. Their rent is going up $500 more than they can afford. So I'll have to find some other place. Yeah, that sucks. There's a bunch of stuff around here. They closed the Goodwill at my local Goodwill store. Here's the hook of this movie coming up though. Because of that, they raised the rent so much to where they couldn't afford to sell anything, and everything in it was so high, movies and everything, that people weren't shopping there. So old Cropsy gets caught on fire here at the beginning. Did you find he found the Prowler Intruder and this? Was it on DVD or was it on Blu-ray? Man, Dollar General a couple years ago, up to maybe about a year ago, really was stocking some decent titles. This head burning, I don't think he had to touch it. Kind of goofy, but it is what it is. Yeah, that's true. This whole little front part is kind of cheesy, but I guess something was supposed to be wrong with him. I read Tony Khan was interested and even said he would keep Vince on, but I don't know how true that is. Well, Tony Khan himself, I don't know if he's got enough money to buy WWE because it's going to sell for just like a team or a network would. It's going to sell for way more than it's actually worth. So, as far as on the books, it'll sell for a little bit more. Like those NBA teams, man, weren't a couple years ago weren't $1 billion, and now they're selling for over $1 billion. But I don't think Vince would sell to him just for out of spite. even though it would probably be Tony's dad buying it and letting Tony run it. DVD. Was the quality of those DVDs good? What company put the DVDs out before the Scream Factory Blu-rays came out? I mean, if you go back and look, I did some really good movie hunts over the last, first 2 years of this channel. Dollar General, I just went in one and they had a few titles, but they're just not getting anything. I think the Dollar Tree is what's dried their store up where they're not getting the titles as much anymore. Yeah, whoever said to Saudi Arabia about WWE caused a crap storm, that's true. I mean, that thing spread like wildfire and had employees talking about they didn't want to work there. I do think that they would probably put in a decent bid, but I don't know if Vince would sell to them just because of I don't know. I think it would just give him a bad name as far as being an American business selling to somebody like that. I think he needs to sell to like Comcast or Disney or one of the ones that's already got an established digital platform that can push it forward and maybe move some of their content there in case they don't keep all their TV deals going. He looks like he was in another movie. His nose looked like a pit. Yeah, that guy that's Cropsey that played or the Cropsey before he got burned did have a weird looking face. I didn't even look to see who they said that was on the Internet Movie Database when I was looking. Blue Underground. Okay, yeah, I used to buy on sale. Hey, I'm not going to show the comments, but look, Jennifer says she's been playing with something all day. Bye, Jennifer. Blue Underground. I've got quite a few Blu-rays from them. I was thinking the other day when somebody was asking me about my collection, I started digging through some of my obscure stuff. I don't own as many Blue Underground Blu-rays as I thought because I ended up getting a bunch of DVDs, and I didn't think that the quality of some of their Blu-rays was that good when they remastered them. So I didn't upgrade a lot of my like I got Uncle Sam on DVD. Do I really need Uncle Sam upgraded to Blu-ray? Oh, Dougie, did you want me to ask her what she'd been playing with all day and tell us about it? You delete. I appreciate that, man. I can't even remember what. I think it was in the YouTube studio is when I made you guys administrators. I should make Scott one. Hey Jeff and everybody, the Burning 19 I love his yeah. Brian, I appreciate you stopping by. The Burning is pretty underrated. And if you ask your average everyday horror movie fan, a lot of people don't even remember The Burning. Somebody was telling me they watched some of our live stream of The Prowler and didn't even remember that movie. So yeah, appreciate you guys doing that. Uncle Sam was a good cheesy movie. Yeah, they showed that on Shudder, but I think it might have been part of the Joe Bob Briggs. Was it Last Drive-In? It was kind of cheesy, but it obviously it was about so many of these ripoffs. They couldn't think of anything original, so I guess the closest they could do was Uncle Sam, something military wise for the, you didn't want to call it 4th of July. You gonna see the Winnie the Pooh in theaters? They got. I don't think I am. I was toying around with the idea of seeing what's coming out. I was looking it up. It was something that was coming out in the next couple of weeks. I was going to see, but no, is that in February? I think Doug looked it up last time we were on here. As soon as it is in the theaters for a week, it'll be on demand like a week later, and then I'll watch it. I find there are a lot more interesting movies for me to watch on Tubi than Netflix. Yeah, we've been talking about that. when I first got Tubi and was watching it probably 2 or 3 years ago, when I first got my first Roku TV, they showed a lot more commercials from what I remember. Or maybe it was just I wasn't used to the commercials watching other streaming service. I think it's gotten to the point now where they've trimmed them down where it's pretty good, where we only had like 3, maybe like every 25, 30 minutes or so is when they put them in there. So it's really, Cody was the one who got me in watching more TV when he was talking about a lot of that B-rated stuff being on there. Oops. Is it going to be discount price or matinee, or I don't know. Like I said, I'm probably not going to go see that Winnie the Pooh movie in the theaters. February 15th, I saw him pop up on there. My wife said this movie is too creepy for her. I don't know if my wife has watched The Burning with me or not. I told her one day I needed to get her on here to watch a movie with me, but I don't think she'll do it. I have the AMC list and it isn't part of it, so I got to pay the. You're going to pay $15 to see that Mookie stink? I felt bad paying $8 to see Megan. Well, I paid $16 because it was my wife and I. I remember this kill. He stabs her with those scissors, right? Yeah. That's not a bad kill there. Doesn't look too bad. It's the way he stuck her the knife in her stomach. Yeah, Doug said February 15th. Tubi's great for horror movies, especially micro budget. Yeah, that's what you and I were talking about. You the one got me watching more Tubi. I appreciate that, man, because it's quite a bit of horror movies on there. And the good thing about that is you can start as many of them as you want. And if they're not good, you don't feel so bad. Camp Stonewater is what it's called now. Their curly haired duo is the one I was talking about. I remember in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. It's at Marcus Theaters. I haven't even looked. Hey, classic 80s babes, no bras. Yeah, you got it. Just killed the girl. That was a pretty good kill. So they're out there with long sleeve shirts on and bikini bottoms. And look, there's George Costanza with the best supporting actor going to his toupee in this. Megan wasn't bad, but it's one and done for me. Yeah, I don't know if you watched my review. It was okay, but people are really blowing it out of proportion. Man, look at those 80s panties. That guy that's with Jason Alexander there, where have I seen him before? I've seen him in something. Yeah, when I typed in The Burning, it didn't even come up. Well, no, I searched for Burning. It didn't even come up on the first screen. I had to go down. So sometimes in movies, you got to type them exactly what they're called. Each movie you watch, the money goes direct to the filmmakers too on Tubi. Yeah, it isn't a ton of money, but I talked to that Jason Pitts when I did an interview. He said that he got a little small check recently from his movies that are on Tubi. So that I do like that. Yeah, Can't Stand You. I think this might be Jason Alexander's first movie. I mean, has he really done that many movies? I remembered him in Pretty Woman. I don't know if I remembered him in anything other than that. I'm gonna go all the way to the beginning. Man, he's done a lot. He was on Duckman, the cartoon. Did he do the voice of Duckman? A Capital Fourth was a TV series in 1980 he did. This is the first movie he did. Then he did a movie called Senior Trip. He was in Mosquito Coast. I don't remember him in that. He was in Pretty Woman, White Palace. He was in Jacob's Ladder. I don't remember him in Jacob's Ladder. I hardly buy movie theater food at the movies. It's way too expensive. $5 for half a bag of fruit snacks. Really? Yeah, my wife and I do Dollar Tree hunting usually. Then when I go out to a movie, I'll buy a thing $1. Here comes your first shot of him raising up the shears. And here comes the first ad break. She found the ball. But I usually buy some Dollar Tree snacks, and then we'll go in there and we'll buy like one big drink and then put 2 straws in it. It's too expensive. I had a free popcorn saved up for when I went to see Megan. I've been saving the points. Yep, Seinfeld. I was in the pool. I don't think I was Adrian King. Yeah, it's a little bit cheaper at the Georgia Theater Company theater that I go to in the other town. I think it was like $15 for a popcorn, soda, and a candy. I think. No, it was a popcorn and 2 drinks. But yeah, at the Regal, it's outrageous fortune. Does Regal still have that that thing? It was like Movie Pass, like the AMC thing. I mean, right, the Regal thing where you can get in, pay one price, and get in like as many times you want to a movie. And somebody told me Movie Pass might be coming back. Hi, what's up, Maddie? Appreciate you stopping by. We can we're talking movies, but if you want, we got The Burning playing in the background as well. It's at a commercial, so I don't know what point in the movie we're at. They were playing baseball. That girl in the yellow shirt. I don't remember seeing that Adrian King was in this movie. Not saying she wasn't, but I don't think she was. Holly Hunter's in this movie. Played Sophie, so she is one of the girls. I didn't know that. I have to check that out. But yeah, I need to see if there's gonna be more movies coming out this year that I'll go see. I might need to check and see if Regal still has like that monthly movie fee that you can pay and get in as many as you want. That would definitely be worth it if you go and see at least 2 movies. I was looking up the Regal Theater. Oh, Jesus Christ. I asked too many questions. So, what's coming up soon at the theater? What's the next big movie that's coming out? When's Renfield come out? I don't know what's the next big movie that's coming out. Regal is so hard to use their app. Coming soon. Oh, I saw the trailer for that. Have you seen the trailer for Missing? They showed that before Megan. It's similar to Searching, but it's like the girl's mother goes to Colombia and then never comes back, and she has to find her. Regal has one, but I think it's a tiered system. Yeah, that's what Regal's the big closest theater to me, and then there's a Georgia Theater Company. What's the timestamp? We are at. I can't get it to pause. Let me get it on my app. Hold on a second. 17 minutes and 55 seconds if you're doing it right now on mine. But obviously, remember, I'm a little bit behind ahead of you guys. I guess that's the way it works. Yeah, that's in April. Is there anything coming out in February? We're at 18. We're that far. Yeah. I'm not at 18. I was at 15. Doesn't matter. Pretty close. We got the chick coming out. I guess she's getting ready to go into the shower area. Yeah, what movie's coming out? There was something in February, and I can't remember what it was. I remember back in the day, Regal used to have a really nice app where it was easy to go look for movies that were coming up. This is hot garbage. When did Scream come out? It doesn't even list it when you click on it. This app is hot garbage. AMC is $20 a month. You can watch 3 movies a week and includes 3D. Now, that's a pretty good deal. She's in the shower. Yep, she is now. Cocaine Bear. Yeah, when is that coming out? I'm going to see Cocaine Bear. Do we get any female nudity in this scene right here? I was watching some movie and my wife and I were laughing. If you ever see the back of a movie and it says rated R and it says graphic nudity, dudes shouldn't get excited. Graphic nudity is always male nudity. Um, I don't know why they call it graphic. Maybe they're just warning people not to get too offended. Like all those hangover movies would say, um, graphic nudity. Back in the day, did they really have outdoor showers like this at camps? They didn't have anything indoors. I think I only remember going to one camp. I remember having indoor showers. You think Scream is in March? I'm gonna find a site. Has anybody watched The Last of Us on HBO? Somebody told me that was really good. I don't watch a lot of limited series, but they said that was really good. It just seems weird having outdoor showers. Seemed like it'd be too easy for the guys to spy on the girls. Let's see. I'm gonna say 2003 movie release schedule. Something fell behind me. If you heard anything, so Megan was out this week. Oh, I know what it was. I wasn't gonna go see it, but somebody asked me, was I gonna go see it? Plane came out January 13th. Did anybody see Plane? I don't know anything about Plane. I canceled my HBO Max because I wasn't watching enough. Peacemaker was amazing though. Yeah, I'm almost on the verge. I get HBO through Comcast, and I think I heard they were talking about going up on the price, so I have to decide if I'm going to keep HBO. I don't watch it as much anymore. And Maddie's at 21. Hey, Maddie, have you ever watched The Burning before? And I need to look up that dude. Every time I see him with that smirk on his face, I'm trying to remember what movie he was in. The guy back in the background back there, right, but in between them. What movie was he in, or TV show or something? He is Ned Eisenberg. He plays his character here is named Eddie. So I'm gonna skip and look back in the like 80s and see what else he was in. Oh, I know what he was in now. I think I remember. Anybody ever see the movie Moving Violations? He was in that. I think that's where I remember him from. That's one of those like weird, quirky movies that I would recommend. When I went to camp, we didn't have a shared camp. It was a boys only. I think it was shared, but I remember us having separate um, cabins or whatever you want to call it. Then it would switch back and forth. Yeah, I don't remember. Everything I know about camp, I learned from Ernest Goes to Camp. I don't know if you learned enough or you learned the right things. Yeah, I've seen it once before. I've been wanting to revisit it. Yeah, so have I. I think it's like I said. It's one of those ones that horror fans know, but most of the casual moviegoers don't know anything about it. 2254. I appreciate you guys popping that up. I never went to camp. Probably a good thing. Yeah. And I guess if you were a teenager in the 80s, it might have been fun. It might could have scared people knowing all these summer camp movies were coming out, like Sleepaway Camp, Friday the 13th, The Burning, all that stuff. No, John Candy wasn't in Moving Violations. Bill Murray's brother, the one that's Never in Anything, was in Moving Violations. See if I can find it. It's not like over the top funny, but it's one of those for the time, it was 1985. John Murray is in it. That's Bill Murray's brother. It's got James Keach, which is Stacy Keach. This guy, hey, two of the guys from this movie are in there. The curly haired guy too. It's got Jennifer Tilly in it, and it's got the woman that was the old lady that was in the Wendy's commercials. Where's the beef? You guys remember Where's the Beef? March 10th, Scream 6. But I don't know how I feel about it. I'm more excited for Saw 10. Yeah, me too. But I do want to see what they're going to do with Scream, knowing that Nev Campbell isn't going to be in it. I'm sure camp is a lot of fun for some kids. I'm just really shy, so it would have been weird. Yeah, I'm shy too. I don't know if you followed my channel long, but I was telling the guys, hadn't been that long ago, that I really wanted to do my YouTube channel about a year before I actually did, but I couldn't get myself in front of a camera to do it. And then I watched some of the other reviewers talk about movies and do live streams like this. And I was like, that's, if you like movies and you just like talking to people about them, why not just go ahead and do it? So I did it. But I was kind of shy about it and didn't want to really do it at first. I hope Saw 10 is good. Isn't it supposed to be a prequel to some of the other movies? I mean, John Kramer's looking kind of old there. I don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to de-age him? I remember one with John where he was a cop. That was Speed Zone, wasn't it? Which was the unofficial Cannonball Run 3. It was supposed to be Cannonball Run 3, and then they couldn't get a lot of the regulars in it. And so they basically moved it to Canada and made it, called it Speed Zone. I still need to see Pearl. I saw X in theaters. What did you think of X? I'd like to get different people's opinion on that, because if you watched the live stream where I picked my top 10 favorite movies of 2022, I picked X. Pearl is really good, but I think the style of the movie, it's a lot of build up and a lot of exposition and character development. It's not over the top gory, and like it's not the same type of movie at all. I'm more into like the movies like X, so it's still a good movie, but it's not as good of a horror movie to me. Yeah, Saw 10 coming out. I hope it's better than Jason X. Yeah, you want to know something weird about Saw? So I think the first 5 Saws are pretty hard to beat. I don't think people give them enough credit of how they intertwined the plot points and made that into a really interesting movie. But I mean, storyline and how it jumps back and forth in time and stuff. The when I went to see Saw 3, I think it was Saw 3. Yeah, the main character's name is Jeff, and so I thought that was kind of cool. I'm sitting in a movie theater going, "Hey, that's kind of neat." And then when his son is missing, he's looking for him. He's looking for his son's name, Dylan. And that's my son's name. So I'm sitting in there thinking it was weird, and I'm pretty sure his wife wasn't named Stephanie, which is my wife's name, but I think there is somebody named Stephanie in that movie. Didn't they de-age him in one of the other ones? I don't know if they did or not, but he looks really old now. Maddie says she liked X quite a bit. What was your favorite horror movie of 2022? Anybody on here, name your favorite horror movie of 2022. What's my favorite John Candy movie? I'm kind of partial to The Great Outdoors, but I think I'm gonna have to say Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I think he does some pretty good acting in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I'll be seeing Pearl soon, waiting for it from the library. Need to see Bubba Hotep. Where'd that come from? Bubba Hotep, you know, isn't that Bruce Campbell? That movie was weird. I remember watching it back in the day. Yeah, I forgot about Uncle Buck. Yeah, I like Uncle Buck too. So I think I'd probably be my top 3. Great Outdoors, Uncle Buck, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Most things are better than Jason X. That's true. It isn't as terrible as most people make it out to be. I mean, there's at least some good kills in there. That head in the nitrogen or whatever it is, and then busting it on the table is pretty good. Yep, that's what Cody just said. Jason X had some good kills though, and then making fun of the fact that the MPAA made him stop the sleeping bag kill and then redoing it, I thought was pretty epic too. Good evening, Jeff man. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing really good. I've been busy all day, so I was ready to sit down and just watch a movie and talk to you guys. So I appreciate everybody stopping by. Anybody that stops in, don't forget to hit the notification. I mean the thumbs up. And if you're a subscriber, hit the notification bell so you'll know when I Oh God, there's some male nudity. We didn't need any of that shit. Carousel 2. Oh God. Was anybody here when we watched the trailers for Carousel 1 and 2? I still haven't watched those. Scream 5. Yeah, it was pretty good. I think that was on my top 10 list. Mine was Delirious. What's Delirious? Have I seen Delirious? I don't know. What's Delirious? Mortal Kombat 2021 making sequel 2020. I already saw the first. Yes, I saw Mortal Kombat 95 in theaters and I really liked it for the time. And I remember thinking that Mortal Kombat Annihilation, coming out of that theater thinking I wanted to tell everybody how bad it was, but the funny part about it was I can't remember who was in it, but who it was, but the local comic book shop to me got one of the actors that played in Mortal Kombat Annihilation to come and sign posters for the movie, and the guy was still there in the lobby when we came out. If that had been today, everybody would have just been talking about how crappy the movie was, and then would have put some YouTube videos out of his reaction with us saying that. But I was nice and I didn't crap on it until later. But I really liked the last Mortal Kombat. I'm looking forward to a sequel. The Holodeck girls are hot and funny though. Yeah, they are. I think that's cool though that they were able to incorporate a joke and also go through with the kill that they wanted to, and then got the trope of the classic, Friday the 13th nudity in there with the girls. I like the way they make the joke about, do you want to smoke some pot? Yes, I watched the trailer for Axe Grinder 666. I mean, all of those movies are basically the same. You don't have to tell me on here, but did you say he offered you some of the masks from the movie, or did buy them? Because I talked to him about some of the masks, and I was a little I wasn't expecting the high price that he gave me. Nothing impressed you, but if I had a chance to see Terrifier 2. Have you watched my top 10 video? If you're not, go watch it, because I do recommend a few off the wall movies that aren't like, mainstream, like theater type stuff as my favorites of 2022. So he writes for a soap opera and he ends up being in his. Oh, I remember that now. I didn't remember the name of that John Candy movie, but yeah, I remember that. Isn't like Mario Hemingway or one of those in that movie? I remember seeing that. I think I like that. I think the soul of Brandon Lee is stopping all those Crow reboots from happening. He's had enough. Somebody told me they're making a Crow fan film, and they're going to probably put some decent amount of effort into it. And then I did hear that they were trying to make another one. I'm interested to know what price he told you, because he said he offered me less than what he is starting to sell them for. I'll tell you offline, just to see, but it was more than I would be wanting to pay for something like that. Yesterday we watched The Devil's Conspiracy. It was okay. It was hard to see because the lighting sucked. Devil's Conspiracy. What'd you watch it on? I think I remember seeing watching the trailer of that on YouTube the other day. What's happening? We're going to have an ad here. Is anything good happen? Oh, but I mentioned it before. If you watch that movie, Moving Violations, it's got a lot of people from like 80s sitcoms and TV and stuff thrown in there, but Fred Willard's in it. And like I said, does anybody even remember the damn commercials that they did for Wendy's back then, called where they did the Where's the Beef? You wouldn't buy it. I haven't heard anybody say it was any good. Like I said, where'd you watch it? And you went to the movie to see it? Yeah, you guys are like, I usually just buy a lot of my movies. It's been a lot of bad ones I've seen at the theater. Didn't they make 4 Crow movies? I think I only watched the first 2. Yeah, didn't Edward Furlong play in one of them? He looked totally hot garbage in there. We watched Contact yesterday, the first time since it came out. So that was a bit surreal. Yeah, I haven't watched that in a while myself. I might have to check that out again. That's a good movie. That's the one with Jodie Foster in it, right? I remember the commercials with the old ladies. Yeah, they're like, "Where's the beef?" Yeah, I heard that was pretty good. Let me know how that is. I might would consider watching that. In the Sadie Sink from Stranger Things is in that the whale too. Very underrated movie. Was killer movie. It was a great movie. Yes, yes, the beef. Killer movie. I remember seeing that. I think I got that as one of the horror pack titles last year. I think I remember watching that was pretty good. Yeah, so Contact. Is that the one with Jodie? Is Jodie Foster in Contact? Yeah, Christopher. Yeah, Raiden. Yeah, he which was a very bad choice of somebody playing Raiden. I know he was popular because of the Highlander movies back then. So sometimes they make bad choices just because of the popularity of the actors. And then yeah, that was her name. Yeah, Clara Peller. It says is her name on the Internet Movie Database. Only reason I know that is because she was the timekeeper of WrestleMania 2. Yeah, I remember that too now that you said that. Holy crap. Speaking of that, Cody, I was thinking about it. You really want to do a watch along that Saturday night instead of Sunday for a movie? We could do watch along of the Royal Rumble that weekend. It'd be fun to do something different. I hardly saw any movies this year, so kind of a bummer. But seeing X myself was kind of nice. Yeah, the Jodie Foster one. I have to go back and watch that. You know, a Jodie Foster movie that I like. Um, that I'm like, why in the hell isn't they put it on Blu-ray? I want to make sure I get the name of it right. Shit, I can't think of it. I can't type. What was the one that she was in? Not Flight Plan. Panic Room. Why doesn't Panic Room have a Blu-ray release? Does anybody know? Also, Valentine was another great one. Is that got the guy from Buffy and Angel? David, whatever. I know the Miz wants to play Johnny Cage if they do another one. Yeah, he would be a really good Johnny Cage. I have to admit that. I just got a notification from PayPal. They shipped a movie that I ordered. It'll be cool. I ordered a 4K Arrow movie that isn't available in the US. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is, but check it out. I'll unbox it on the channel as soon as I get it this week. I caught Dune in IMAX on the last day of its re-release, and that was pretty sublime. I didn't see Dune into theater, and I didn't watch it. I'll have to admit, I didn't watch it all on HBO Max. I didn't particularly like it, but I also didn't like the original Dune. Um, I don't know what, it was just something about it I didn't like. I'm down to watch a Rumble in here. Yeah, we can watch that together. Um, I know I'll be watching it anyway, so it doesn't matter. I just picked up the Marshes at the Dollar Tree today. I got a bunch of those. I don't know if you watched my Dollar Tree hunts a couple months ago. I was doing mass searches for all those Shutter titles that everybody was finding. And I live in a rural area, so we sometimes get the movies late. I still went in the other day into the Dollar Tree and picked up a couple titles that I hadn't seen anywhere. But um, yeah, I picked up all those Shutter ones in the Marsh. That's got a really nice slipcover on it. The movie is not terrible, but it's a plenty of better Shutter movies out there. So yeah, the guy from Buffy. Valentine is good. I'm not a big Denise Richards fan, and she's in that. I never thought she was as hot stuff as everybody else thought she was. I love Panic Room. I think they're waiting for Venture to approve a transfer. Definitely have heard Criterion is a strong possibility. Oh man, I'll buy Panic Room the day it comes out. I love Panic Room. I'm not a big, how you pronounce her name, Kristen Stewart, whatever fan. That was when she was younger though. I think Jodie Foster is amazing in that. She looks good in that. Not she doesn't look good in most movies, but for some reason I just liked everything about that movie. The way it was made. Forrest Whitaker's in it. Um, what's the country music singer that plays the one of the bad guys is in it? He's good. Yeah, that movie. I've got the Super Bit Blu-ray. I mean, a DVD release, but I was like, where in the hell is the Blu-ray at? How you pronounce that? I always want to say Skinamark. Is in theaters and it's a sudden film. Yeah, I've heard like really bad reviews though. Said that it was like artsy fartsy type, and that I'll wait when Shutter or somebody else shows that. Who you got winning the Royal Rumble, dude? I got Cody Rhodes or Bobby Lashley. I'm just sick and tired of seeing Reigns holding 2 titles. I got a feeling that they're getting ready to do. Hold on a second. Dwight Yoakam, yeah. Um, he's not a bad actor. He played in Crank as well. But yeah, Panic Room is one of my favorite Jodie Foster movies. Man, they need to release that. I love that. Yeah, Dwight Yoakam. I'm hoping with the Rumble they'll split the titles and Roman will have to defend both nights. If Cody comes back, I'm sure he will win, but I would like to see Owens beat Reigns at the Rumble. That's not going to happen. I think Owens and Zayn are going to fight the Usos for the tag titles at WrestleMania. But hey, this is what I was going to say. Did you notice that on Raw and SmackDown that they're now saying that they may make the Usos defend the Raw titles against a Raw team and the SmackDown titles against a SmackDown team? I think they're setting up something with those titles to be, once they lose one set of them, to be something about how they're going to handle Roman being both, doing both. Yeah, great actor. Bailey winning the women's, possibly. And now that they're talking about, I thought Bianca was going to win it and she was going to fight Charlotte Flair, but I don't think they're going to do that now. But if Bailey wins it, is she going to fight Bianca again? Because if she does, she better than beat her this time. Might not last 52 minutes. Dwight was great in Crank and Sling Blade. I haven't watched Sling Blade in a long time. But yeah, he was good. I love Crank. I picked up Crank in that $3.96 4K sale at Walmart. Somebody told me some Walmarts are still getting that display in. So if anybody didn't get that, my Walmart didn't get any more movies in on the display. But if somebody told me not to start checking because other Walmarts got it in. That Crank transfer looks pretty good in 4K, especially for $3.96. I didn't even watch Sling Blade in a long time. So they're in the canoes splashing each other now. Jason Alexander's like, don't get my toupee wet. They're not as good back then as staying on. You talking about your phone is at 31%? You might last. Owens is a mid carder, dude. Owens is freaking awesome, man. He deserves way more credit. Yeah, I think they just wanted to establish the bloodline as to where it's going to be impactful when somebody starts beating them. So I do think Owens and Zayn will fight for the tag titles and win it. I don't know that Vince coming back and all this bad press. I really don't know if The Rock is going to come back. I almost think that they're going to make Roman defend both belts one night, one Raw, one SmackDown, and he's going to lose one of them. I think he's going to lose to Cody. I wouldn't be surprised. And whoever he fights for the SmackDown belt, he'll keep it. The character of Mortal Kombat named Cole Young, he is Cobra. I never knew that. I thought of that question mark. I don't know much about Mortal Kombat trivia or characters, so sorry, dude. I think I saw Crank 3 times in theaters. Excuse me. Hold on, I'm gonna mute a second. So I thought this was weird. This is the time they're doing the Cropsy, like Friday the 13th kind of intro here by the campfire, like this late in the movie. But yeah, I saw Crank. I remember seeing it in theater. I don't think I saw it more than once, but I remember when I bought it, the weekend I bought it, I watched it Saturday and Sunday because I loved it so much. The first Crank is like really good. I always wish they could have figured out a way to do another one. You and I seem to have a lot of the same movie taste, so that's good. I always like to find people that have same taste in movies as I do. Owens is an international treasure, sir. Amen to that, brother. Owens to me is like the new Daniel Bryan to them. You put him in the ring with anybody, big, tall, short, fat, slow, fast. He can have a good match with anybody. And he has gotten so much better on the mic over the last couple years. He's doing the backstory of Cropsy on here now. Wyatt, Owens, Miz are my top 3 male wrestler. Bailey is my favorite women's wrestler. You know, I didn't like Bailey when she was that hug character, but I like her as I know she isn't the best heel character, but I like her style and her wrestling better as a heel. No, it wasn't sold to the Saudis. That was hearsay. They've taken bids from multiple people, is what they said. They even met with Disney this past week. Yeah, Jason Statham's good. Isn't the Meg 2 coming out this coming year? He's in that, right? He better be. I respect Kevin Owens. I'm not saying he's a great talent, but it's just that I'd rather see a guy like Lashley or McIntyre beating Reigns. Owens as a heel is more entertaining. I'll give you that. Owens in NXT, and when Owens was a heel, he was awesome. I'm very interested to see what they're going to do with Wyatt, man, because they had that QR code on SmackDown and a link to the Fiend. He mentioned like all the different versions of himself that's been happening on SmackDown. So I'm wondering what they're going to do with the Fiend. And Alexa Bliss needs to go heel. But she's a much better heel than a face. I bought that Spirit Halloween $4.99. It was okay. Wish it was cheaper, but it was like Rob Zombies and Monsters. I don't know what was better. Oh yeah, you're right, dude. I bought that when they had it on $4.99 on Vudu like months ago, like probably in November. And I watched it and I didn't like it at all. Man, it was like really, really cheesy, and it wasn't cheesy in a good way. I mean, but I think I liked it better than the Munsters. Have you seen the new Beavis and Butthead movie? The one that's on Paramount Plus, Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe? Yeah, I watched it. And I'm not ashamed to say I laughed quite a bit. I thought it was pretty good. My brother was a manager of the theater at the time, so I saw everything free. No way I'd pay 25 to 30 to see it 3 times. Yeah, that's the truth. That's why, like, I always tell people that I buy a lot of movies instead of going to see them, because if you get them fairly new and you don't like them, you can sell them or trade them or do something online to help make up some of the money. If you go to the theater and see it and it's not good, you ain't getting your money back. Bailey's a 49ers fan. Well, I probably wouldn't. That's probably why I don't like her. Meg 2 comes out this year. Yeah, I like the Meg. I wish it had just been a little more over the top. It was almost like it was, and I know it wasn't made in America, and that's probably one of the reasons it's got more of a Japanese style. I wish it would have had a little more gore in it and then been a little scarier. It was more of an action movie and didn't do as much with the shark in it as I want. Yeah, I 1000 prefer Olin as a heel. Yeah, but he's really good on the mic now, man. So I like the work he's doing right now. Who is the worst director? I don't know. You talking about person, or you talking about the work they do? I worked for Spirit this year. It was like, hey, that's cool. I love Spirit Halloween. I don't know if I can get it. Shit, I can't reach anything. See, I got that for like a quarter on the day they were closing. I got a couple more too, but I can't reach those. I love Spirit Halloween. There's one that stayed away from me in North Carolina that I think's open year round, but the one here, is only open for that short period of time at Halloween. Why has been a bust so far? All the damn Uncle Howdy stuff. I don't think he's been a bust. I think this is exactly what they wanted. They wanted to drag this shit out. They want it to be meaningful, like going into WrestleMania. Is there a Heels Run Red too? Not that I know of. That Heels Run Red wasn't that bad. I don't really like that actress's in though. big guy in that stable. You talking about bringing Eric Rowan back? I don't think they're gonna do another Wyatt family again. Not a big Rob Zombie fan. I'm not a huge Rob Zombie fan, but I think he gets shit on a little bit too much. But that Munster movie, for somebody that's an uber fan of the Munsters like him, that was very disappointing. Just this scene here is like at night, it's so dark, man. I know guys probably hated this scene back in the day. You can't even see the good nudity. Is this supposed to be like an homage to the scene from like Friday the 13th 2, or did that come out afterwards? Did they rip this scene off with them? A girl looks almost like that girl in the way they got the clothes being stolen. Friday 13th steal from this? Yeah, I know. You guys are going to, if Dallas wins, you guys are going to beat Dallas. I don't know, man. It didn't mess up on me. School, you told me about that. Talking about the Spirit had a cool Universal Monster shirt this past year. Hey, we need to. Spencer's, yeah, somebody told me that. We got a Spencer's in the mall. So do they actually carry some of the same stuff? Where have you been my whole life? Talking about giving us back, give me some stuff, some extra info about Spencer's and FYE. I saw you put no, I'm in Virginia, but I'm close to the border. I'm like 30, 40 miles from the border. So a lot of times when I'm going movie hunting, I'll cross the border and go into North Carolina. So like Greensboro is like a quick day trip for me to go down there and shop and do stuff. Let me get back up here. I hope Asuka wins the Royal Rumble or Alexa Bliss. I wouldn't be surprised if Alexa Bliss didn't win, if Bayley doesn't win. And I think Asuka's going to come back as her like Japanese Joker character. I don't like AEW, but if I watch it, MJF is gold. I wish he would eventually one day be in the WWE because they can make him a mega star. I agree. LA Knight's been really good in that feud. LA Knight is not bad. I used to watch him on the NWA, and they had that NWA Power where you can watch free on YouTube. I think they still do, but it's garbage now. But I used to watch him on there. What state are you working in, Maddie? Is it a bigger store? Maddie might be our new hookup as far as getting. You can let us know what any new stuff they're going to sell this year in the store. So no, but you grew up in Charlotte. That's cool. So not that far away. He's in Wisconsin. We need JEFFMAN316 shirts. Would anybody buy one if I made one with my logo on it? I thought about doing that. Once I hit 2,000 subscribers, dude, I kind of made that as a benchmark for myself that if I can hit 2,000, then I was in for it for the long haul. 1,000 was just to keep me interested, but I didn't think I would get to 2,000. So we're pretty close. We're at 1914. So that's way more than I ever thought I would get. Doug, I'm in PA now. That's kind of cool. That's still not that far away. You're on the. I went to Pennsylvania. I took my son to see some Pittsburgh Pirates baseball games up there. It's not a bad trip up there. It's a pretty easy drive. Doug's brother lives in Ohio. Their Spirit Halloween was okay. The one in North Carolina was better than the one in Virginia. Did you ever check out some of your TNADs? No, I didn't. I went down there to do it, and then they're on a bookcase in my basement that I got a bunch of stuff stacked up in front of. I need to sell like some figures in a tote, but I plan on doing that. What happened was I got down there and I started organizing my WWE DVDs, and I forgot to look at the TNA ones. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't missing any of my WWE ones. My Spirit store was average size, apparently, near the Scranton area. Check out my Spirit Halloween hunt that I posted this year. Maddie, look back at it. See, let me know the size of that store. I think it's really small. See if it's any compared to the size of the one that you worked at. I felt really bad for David Fincher when he directed Alien 3. He wasn't even any of the special features, if I remember correctly. Yeah, but wasn't his original story and cut of Alien 3 going to be like way different than what it ended up being in the movie? Didn't they basically like take the movie away from him? Something like that. This is kind of weird that we hadn't talked about wrestling in a while. And then Cody mentioned it a couple weeks ago. I've always been a wrestling fan. It's weird that now we got people that chat about wrestling, which is kind of cool. It's like a good mix in here now. I'm not a Bailey fan. She didn't need that damage control group. But it's not as much as that she needed damage control as much as they needed her. There was some people, because EO can't speak good English. And I just think Dakota is not that great on the mic either. But they're good wrestlers. So the Triple H was a big fan of both of them and wanted to get them over on the main roster. So they needed Bailey. I cleaned up where the Spirit went 50% off after Halloween. Yeah, so did I. I mean, I didn't post as much stuff on the channel because it wasn't that great as far as the quality of stuff. But I bought you a bunch of cheap props that in case I ever, if I ever need them for videos, like that horn I used in the Terrifier video, I bought that in there, and I bought some knives and a ton of like I said, little props. I got some hats. I got like a Canadian Mountie hat. I got like a sheriff's hat. I bought a bunch of stuff in case I needed them for my videos. You would, I appreciate that, but I'd have to have more than one person buying a shirt. But you could give me some ideas because man, I kind of like my logo. If you guys don't even know what that logo is, it's a combination of Friday the 13th and a lucha libre style mask for like a wrestler would wear. And then I'm looking up in the top corner, and then it's got my hat. So it's like a mix of the stuff that I like. I doubt I'll be working there this year, but it was fun experience. I got transferred to Spencer's for Christmas time before my seasonal ran up. On to the next thing. Where you working now? We need some good workers. If you ever come to Virginia and work, hook me up because they made me president of the company, and I got to start looking at all that kind of stuff. I got to help all the managers keep good people in there. I only went to North Carolina once. We were Topsail Island, a beach house. Yeah, I mean, I go to Myrtle Beach quite a bit, and we go through North Carolina quite a bit, traveling around here. I'd wear a Jeff Man shirt on date night. I'm sure you would. I bet you would. So what should we do? Should the first shirt be my logo, like up in the corner, just like, and then put up under it, say something about "Let's go"? Yeah, I got you, man. Have you seen Pray for the Devil? Is it good or not? I bought it and I was going to watch it this weekend. I got so busy I haven't watched it. So, yeah, I'll be watching it probably this week. So, I'll let you know. MO, is that Missouri? I should know that. We do direct mail. I can't remember that kind of shit. So, yeah, Fincher was disowned the film, so he really won't even talk about it. We talked about Sinister so much the other week. I actually watched that this week. I'd buy the logo in the background, JEFFMAN316 live shirt. You talking about that one? We just need to see what we want for the design. Do we just want the skull with the mask and the hat? And then do we want up under it just say "Let's go"? Or do we want my name on it? What would we do? Well, you guys can help me design it when I make the first one. Bailey can do no wrong in my eyes. She's a good, funny heel. Yeah, it doesn't hurt. She's easy on the eyes, too. Pray for the Devil's an alright movie. Just better off getting it in a red box or a library. Yeah, like I said, I bought it because I ended up with a deal where it was on my Best Buy app and it was cheap. Yeah, I was gonna get some of those Killer Clown stuff, but I didn't want to spend that much money in that. I'd already bought a bunch of enough stuff. Her last day at Spirit with an employee discount, it was like 80-90% off. I may have spent 200. What kind of stuff did you buy? If I was working there and I could get 80 to 90% off, man, I'd have come out of there with the whole damn store. Shit, I can't click on it. JEFFMAN316 for life with the logo and "Let's go" on the back. For life. So yeah, I could do like put JEFFMAN316, and then instead of live, I could put like 4, the number 4 life in like the movie strip. The film strip there. I could do that, like expand it to 5 and put like a number 4 life, and then put or do I need JEFFMAN316 on there at all? The one you made the metal sign. What are you talking about? Sinister is so good. I still want to see too, although I've heard, yeah, it's not that good. Um, all the mystique and everything, it's like they basically boil it down into more of just a regular horror movie. It doesn't have uh, not knowing where the films came from and then how he discovered them. I won't spoil it, but just the way the films are presented in it kind of spoils it for me. It was I love Sinister so much that when I went to the theater to see that, I remember being super disappointed. We need a Jeff Man movie. We need to get the channel to be big, dude. Imagine how much stuff we could do if I could get the channel to grow and have like buku supporters. Because I could take any of that money that I get from the channel and invest it and do whatever we want. Peter Anthony tells me I should make a short film because he said some of the stuff like I did at the beginning of the Halloween movies was creative. I just didn't have any money to spend and had to do everything, basically sitting in my house. One is great. Still need to watch 2, but definitely not as good. Yeah, Sinister is one of my favorite movies. I could watch that movie over and over again. The best wrestling was the 80s, and yes, we need JEFFMAN316 on the shirt somewhere. Yeah, okay. I'll come up with some designs. You guys need to spread the word. You help get the channel up. I know you can do Teespring in different stores where basically I could upload the artwork. I'll look into that stuff. I got to do my Patreon first. Would all of you guys at least sign up? You talking about that? That's not metal. That's what you're talking about. That's like an actual, you can hang it on the wall. I got it sitting on like a easel. I got it from Hobby Lobby at a half price sale. It was regular 40 and I got it for 20. It came with the box of letters you can put on there. I'm a 90s WCW guy. The Monday Night Wars was a blast. I love the Monday Night Wars. I started watching it. The first pay-per-view I watched was what was shit, I can't remember. It was the year WrestleMania had Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold with Mike Tyson as a referee. Was that 97? Was that no, I was 98. So my first pay-per-view was whatever the pay-per-view in September was of 98. Because it was my birthday. TeePublic is a good site too. Yeah, somebody told me if I ever did one, I could sign up for that. I know you're the one who mentioned it. That's why I want to do it. But I need to still, man. I need to figure out the levels because I would do just like everybody else. Where this is when he's massacring them on the rafts. Oh, that's when he cut his fingers off. I remember that. That's pretty good. Kind of like a reverse of Kevin Bacon. Instead of coming from below, he went down into him. His neck looked really weird though. It was like really thin. Shit, I messed up. So I would do a $1 tier where you would just get your name, or you could advertise your YouTube channel, or if you got social media on a screen after I do my intro on my videos. But that would be like $1. So I really want to come up with what I would do for $3, and then we could do a $5 one. But I don't know what I would put in the different ones. So if I could be one of my shirts, is what you're saying. I could design it to look like a movie marquee. Yeah, that was in 98. So that was when I was watching it before, but I really got into it pretty religiously in 98. Yeah, I didn't buy that pay-per-view, whatever the September one was. It seems like Triple H was on the front cover and he was hurt. He was supposed to wrestle. It was after SummerSlam. I watched some of SummerSlam with somebody, and then they went all and chipped in together and bought the pay-per-view for me for my birthday in September. And then I've watched every WWE pay-per-view since then. Yeah, the guy has got his fingers chopped off. I forget his name. But yeah, he's been in a bunch of stuff. Starrcade 87. What was the main event of Starrcade 87? I've watched all those, but I don't remember that one. What did everyone watch on Friday the 13th? I watched the final chapter. If you watched, check out my social media. I posted what I watched. It was a guy who does manufactured on demand stuff cut together part 3 and 4 into one seamless movie. And then he added back a few of the extra gore scenes that were cut out. Oh, we got some gratuitous sex going on here. She said that's all. Sorry. That shit was funny. That's all. So I watched 3 and 4 together. It was pretty good. The I didn't pay attention to Friday the 13th so much, so don't laugh at this, but I never really thought about whether at the end of 2, whether that was a dream or not when he came through the window and grabbed Jenny. But now if you watch part 3 really close, it has to be a dream, because when you watch them with the cult couple that's got that store, and she's got the clothes hanging up and she's complaining about him touching her clothes and getting them dirty. When the sheet blows, you can see Jason walking behind there, and he looks like the Jason that shows up at the end when his mask gets knocked off. So when he raises it up. So he never looked like he did at the end of part 2. That was just in her dream. So I thought that was kind of cheesy, because it used to bother me when I was younger that he would have that beard and everything and long hair, but that was how she imagined him. Yeah, King of the Ring had a Hell in a Cell match between the Undertaker and Foley. So I ended up, before that time, I ended up buying all the videotapes at FYE, and I bought the King of the Ring and SummerSlam and whatever the ones leading up to that September pay-per-view. Yeah, that's it. He didn't get high marks for that sex. Oops. I went to karaoke on Friday. Did you have fun? What's your favorite song to sing karaoke? You ever watch any shoot interviews? Oh yeah, man, I used to watch shoot interviews all the time. I've got a couple of shoot interviews, like with some of the females signed, like Francine and Dawn Marie, and I used to go to those ECW house shows too, man. Those are the best shows ever. Yeah, F you pump chump. Yeah, I figured that's what you meant. Oops. She's getting ready to get stabbed. So technically, then Friday the 13th stole the shears from the one that got stabbed into the chick's eyes from this movie too. That sounds awesome. I do a 3. 2 and 3 are my personal favorites. I really like 2. I've got sentimental about part 6 because it was the first one I saw in theaters, and I think it's more of like a callback to the kind of like the Universal monster movie. So I really like part 6. I'm kind of partial to that, but yeah, I love 2, 3, and 4. Watch Terrifier 2. Oops. On Friday the 13th. Hey man, it's a horror movie. I was joking with somebody. You guys ever heard of a movie called Saturday the 14th? I own that, and I was telling somebody about it, and they didn't know it was an actual movie. It's a comedy. But you guys ever heard of that? If I remember right, it was Ric Flair versus Ron Garvin, and Garvin beat him in a cage match with a sunset flip off the second rope. Part 5. Oops. Part 5 is what I watched. Did you just watch it because you wanted to see? That's the one I usually call Friday the 13th. The porn. It's a Skinamax version of Friday the 13th. It's got so much nudity in it. We get one HorrorCon a year here. They announced the first 2 guests, and they're both from Friday 6. That's cool. Where are you from? What state are you in? I need to start going some of those. February 3rd. Yeah, I want to see that. M. Night Shyamalan is due for a good movie. Kayfabe Commentary is my favorite wrestler interview. Sean Oliver, he does Click. Yeah, I watched that the other night because Kevin Nash was giving his opinion of the Mandy Rose situation, and yeah, I've watched a lot of those when they do the Q&A stuff too. There's somebody got killed. This movie is really dark in some spots. Maybe just because I don't have good lighting in here. I used to see someone who lived in the same building as Ric Flair. You see somebody, you mean date them? Ric Flair, man. I just heard somebody tell a story about him, how his girlfriend and him went by Ric Flair's house years ago, and Ric Flair came down the steps totally nude with his manhood swinging and started hitting on his girlfriend, and the dude basically had to tell him that he was going to knock his ass out if he didn't get away from her. So he said he did that shit all the time. No, I went to the original, the last summer of the original ECW house shows. I went to 2 shows in Salem, Virginia, where, if you want, I got a cool story I can tell you about one of them. Part 5 is pretty decent as well. Does deserve it. I think people. I don't really hate it. I just don't like the fact that they had the balls to write off a character like Jason, and then they wimped out and tried to bring him back, but then didn't really want to bring him back. I just don't think the Roy story is good enough. If you just think of it as Friday the 13th and Jason, it's good, but it does seem kind of it's going to sound weird. It seems kind of like a little too raunchy, like it's got too much sex and cussing and stuff in it. I mean, they went like too far. Oklahoma, the home of Joe Exotic. My go-to song is Follow Me, Uncle Cracker. I do all kinds. I try to do different songs each week, but say Follow Me for last. That's cool. We need to get you recorded and we can put you in a video. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard anything good or bad about that Servant. You Jack was one crazy MFer. I remember the time he bladed a fat. Yeah, that's the mass transit incident, dude. He almost got arrested for attempted murder for that thing. Cornette is hands down my favorite shoot interviewer. Yep, I like him. You see when you Jack threw Rick Grimes off the scaffold? Yeah, I've got that DVD. I just watched it. It was from one of the XPW shows, Free Fall or something like that. Something. Yeah, man. Vic Grimes almost died from that shit. Bloody Murder 1 and 2 are great movies. Flair in a jersey and a real life met Barry Windham, great guy. Yes, Bloody Murder 1 and 2, are they available? I think I got them on DVD. Those aren't on Blu-ray, are they? Yeah, I figured that. That's what you meant. I was just being funny. But do you have any good Ric Flair stories? I remember that too. Didn't Vic Grimes pass away too? I don't think Vic Grimes died, did he? I don't remember. Bloody Murder 1, 2. I just watched those again a couple weeks ago. Would you watch them on? Are those on Tubi? We should watch those. Benny Pool 27th of this month. I don't think I'm going to go see that. Jerk. Sorry. Yeah, so I'll give you my short version of my New Jack story. So we go to get into the building and we're waiting in line, and there's a guy in front of me with a brown paper bag, and not even paying attention to what it is. So I'm standing there talking to my brother-in-law, and all of a sudden, I hear the guy at the front door going, "You got to be kidding me. You think I'm going to fucking let you in with that bag?" And so we look, and the guy bought a bag of weapons with him, and it's literally everything out of his kitchen: rolling pin, cheese grater, frying pan, It's a bag full of stuff. And then so they say, we can't let you through the security gate with that stuff. So they take the bag. And so we're laughing on who in the hell would bring that kind of stuff to a show. And my brother-in-law was like, well, I've seen people bring that kind of stuff. So we go in and the whole show's goes through, and then New Jack is in the main event. I think it's maybe a tag match. I can't remember, him and Sandman or something. So he comes in and goes, wait a minute. And he goes back and comes back out. He went down to the end of the street and took the green road sign, like it's the Roanoke Civic Center is what it was called back then, of the coming in the entrance. He took it off the pole and he came in and was beating them over the head with it. And so in the middle of the match, he then goes to the back again. And guess what he comes out with? That bag of weapons that guy tried to bring with all his kitchen utensils and stuff in. They moved it to the side and saved it, and New Jack picked it up and brought it into the ring and saw it. And so the second funny part about that match was the Sandman tried to come into our area and he spit booze all over us, Budweiser. He was going to take a chair and he was going to grab it and pick it up and hit New Jack with it. Well, the chairs in our row were all interconnected. So when he tried to pick up the chair on the end when we were standing up, the whole damn row picked up and everybody's stuff that was on it fell off, like people's coats and jackets and drinks and everything. And it flipped off over there. And then he got pissed and he was cussing up a storm because he couldn't get a loose chair, a single one, to beat anybody over the head with. Those shows were fun. They just mentioned he was a little stuck up. Yeah. He's pretty much a jerk from what I heard. They are on Tubi. That's what we're watching, dude. If it's still on there, we're watching Bloody Murder. I used to love watching those movies and make fun of them. Yeah, I think I've got them on DVD too. We need to watch Bloody Murder. Vic Grimes is still alive. Mass Transit died a few years back. Yeah, I watched a video about that because that's not New Jack. Like I got accused like 2 or 3 times of almost killing somebody in the ring. Yeah, he was. There was no room for that kind of shit in wrestling, and he openly admitted that half the time he didn't know what he's doing, that he was so high. I'm pretty sure I got Bloody Murder 1 and 2 on DVD. Missing is out January 19th. I kind of want to see that. Watch a trailer for that. I like those online searching type movies like that. I saw a shoot interview of New Jack, said he wanted to beat the shit out of John Cena in WWE. I don't know if they would have signed him. No, he was that they said it because of his past and everything. He and his violent nature. And drug use. There's no way that they would have signed him in the WWE. House shows are so fun. TNA house shows are the most fun I've ever had a wrestling show. I think the two ECWs are my favorite, and then several of those TNA ones, house shows, the UWF ones that we talked about, that would be my second favorite. There's an episode of Thunder that I was at a taping of that if you watch it, I have to write down, I got it written down which episode it is. The sign, you don't see me, like my face, but the sign that I was handing out, it was in Roanoke. And I had made a sign that said, this is the house that Flair built. And you see it on television. And then at the commercial break, we went over to the railing because I think Bobby Heenan and Tony Schiavone were getting a drink or something and we're walking by. And so I took my marker and on the back of that sign, I wrote Schiavone 316. And when he was sitting down at the table or whatever, he leaned over and told Bobby to look and pointed out our sign. And the house show dark match was Goldberg versus the Giant, and the Goldberg picked the Giant up and jackhammered him in the dark match. Yeah, those were awesome shows. What's Fear? You talking about February 27th? Yeah, I watched a bunch of the Dark Side of the Rings. I don't watch all of them. We have 18 minutes left. As usual. That's why, like I said, I like to chat with you guys. We haven't really watched a lot of this. What do you think of Smile? Was it scary? I think it was fair. I didn't think it was really scary. Everything in it I'd seen before. It was like It Follows mixed with Truth or Dare with that weird smile, and then The Ring. I mean, I felt it was It had some good parts in it. The music was good, cinematography good, the acting was good. I mean, I was kind of bored. It was weird at the end with that demon or whatever when it finally got her when she was in the cabin, but it wasn't bad. It was good. It was a well-made movie, so I was hard to crap on it, but it wasn't as great as everybody said it was. I felt like I'd seen everything in it before. Yeah, the Thunder was fun to be at live. Thunder as a show was hot garbage. That was their second rate show, and they rarely put anybody any good on it. They always had like one good match. But as a show to go to see live, it was fun. My mom dated Bruiser Brody. Yeah, I always heard he was a much nicer guy in person. Bruiser Brody. That's random. No, this month. Yeah, so it is a couple movies coming out that I'm interested in seeing. A weekend vacation turns sinister when a group of friends must confront their worst fears one by one. Jason Voorhees is the toughest and deadliest hockey player who's never played hockey. Part 8 might be shitty, but I still like that part when he gets to New York. You got Jason basically fighting in that restaurant, the version of Jason that would come later, the actor that plays Jason in Freddy versus Jason. And then I love it when he sees the hockey mask up and looks at it. That's pretty epic. And I love the how everybody always talks about how he teleports. They had a house show in Roanoke here last night. I didn't go to it because half the people that I wanted to see are hurt. Because when they advertised it 6 months ago, like Cody Rhodes was going to be there, Seth Rollins was going to be there. I remember looking at the list, and now half of it, well, the people I want to see are out hurt, and they substituted Charlotte Flair on there for somebody. And I was like, I'm not paying to see Charlotte Flair. Yeah, toughest hockey player was the Goon. Richard Booker was my favorite Jason. I think Kane Hodder from Part 7 is my favorite. But then I like Richard Booker too. He was pretty good. Ted White was good. If you hear the stories about how he protected the actresses and stuff backstage, it makes you like Ted White even more. I don't know if Bloody Murder is on here, but we can watch Bloody Murder next week. Yeah, Ted White's one of my favorite ones. Every time I hear somebody say Ted White, it makes me think of Ted Knight. The Raw After Rumble is going to be here, but I don't think I'm going to go. I always wanted to go to a Raw after WrestleMania. I went to the Raw in Greensboro, North Carolina after SummerSlam 2000. I met Jeff Hardy, Edge, and a bunch of them at the Hooters afterwards. I got to see Punk cash in Money in the Bank on Edge, and I hated it. Yeah, I mean, Punk was, weird. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, we'll watch Bloody Murder next week. It's basically a poor man's Friday the 13th, dude. If you look at it, it's got like a really cheesy mask. See if I can look it up. Did we lose Maddie? Is she still on here? She seen Bloody Murder? I like having a female's opinion on some of this stuff instead of a bunch of dudes around. Bloody Murder. See, look at that, man. You get a rip-off Jason holding a chainsaw. What else would you want? I guarantee that's full screen, right? Plans for a summer filled with fun and romance turn to terror for a group of young counselors. Yeah, Trevor Morehouse. The guy with the potato sack sucked on Friday the 13th Part 2. I kind of like Sackhead Jason in that. What about Saturday the 14th? Is that Saturday the 14th on here? We can watch that one day. That's a comedy though. That's not a horror movie, and it's really cheesy. You got to be in the mood for like a really cheesy, like parody satire movie to watch that. Jason 2 was a mix between Steve Dash and Warrington Gillette. Yeah, I like Sackhead Jason. I mean, I like the several of the parts in there. I didn't like it when that dream sequence when she pulled his mask off though. I didn't like that look of him. I seen 2 before. I seen 1. I could never find it. Mask looked nothing like that in the movie, and I don't remember Chainsaw either. Yeah, I know. I remember saying that it's like back then they didn't give a shit about the cover artwork. It was more about what they could put on the shelf at the video store. Um, I heard back when ECW was still around, fans would bring their own weapons from home. That's what I just said. Like you, Jack, that guy brought that bag of weapons. They said they weren't going to give it to him, and then he ended up going out there getting them himself and brought them in. And I saw him use the frying pan and then the cheese grater that guy brought on somebody in a match. I found it at Vintage Stock. What's Vintage Stock? Is that a store? I've never seen it, but it's still horrible comedy. Yeah, it's hey, you would like it. It's got like a Universal monster feel to it because it's got like some the main characters. One of the characters is Dracula and his wife, and then there's a character in it that's kind of like the creature from the Black Lagoon. And it's got a couple funny scenes. I tell you, I mean, it came out when I was younger, so you got to remember this. What I'm going to tell you is when I was like really young. Um, the girl that's in it is one of the main girls from the show. Give Me a Break, and I had like a mini crush on her, when I was really young. And I just realized that she's supposed to be like a teenager in the movie, that she was really like 20 years old when she was in the movie. There's a really funny scene when like a bathtub scene that it's almost like that they ripped that off from A Nightmare on Elm Street. And Elm Street ripped them off is what I mean. No, you're fine. I'm just fine. We were talking about watching Bloody Murder. I was asking if you ever watched Bloody Murder. I've seen both of them on VHS and DVD, but I didn't know they were on Tubi. So if they are, we can watch Bloody Murder next week. They used to do the use my sign, and there was a stop sign between two signs. So wonder what other movies. It'd be funny to go back and try to look for some old VHS covers of shit that they put on tapes that really wasn't even in the movie the way it was on the VHS. You know, a movie that I thought was better when I saw it years ago, and then when I just recently watched it, I was like, why did I like this? Have you guys seen Rawhead Rex? I thought that movie was a lot better than it was, and then I just watched it here recently, and I was like, this movie is not good. Yeah, Raven wasn't there. I don't think at my show at the show because I think was in it. But I did see Sandman, Sabu. I think RVD. I got RVD's autograph. I got to meet Francine. What was the porn star that was Jasmine St. Clair? Was at one of the shows, and I got to meet her. What was the big Sal Graziano? Is that his name? The big guy and Lil Guido. I got to meet them. We were at the show was over, and man, we were waiting and we were thirsty, and I snuck behind the barrier and went down the hall and saw a drink machine and went to buy a drink. And while I was standing there, Justin Credible was there, and I got a picture with him. Standing down there at the end of the hall. He was like, "You're not supposed to be back here, but come on, hurry up and take the picture." You got to remember, I was nothing digital back then. You didn't have digital cameras, so everything was taken with real cameras. Tommy Dreamer, I think he might have been in the WWE at the time, right at the end when ECW ended. There was a Bloody Murder 3? Really? What was it called? Does anybody know? Man, you come up with straight up facts up in here, bro. Scream Bloody Murder? That's not the same movie, is it? Same franchise, is it? I'd like to start reading Clive Barker. Seemed the original Rawhead was more interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what most people say is that that his book and stuff about it was like, here's Cropsy, you get to see him without his mask. Who did the effects in this movie? Yeah, I haven't read any of Clive Barker stuff. I watched a lot of I read most of Stephen King stuff, but I never. The first Stephen King book I read was Christine in the library in high school, and then I got hooked on it. I don't know. Um, Rawhead Rex, is that on Tubi? We'll have to look. Sleepaway Camp showed Angela or some actress that was supposed to be Angela with Freddy's glove and Jason's mask on the old VHS cover. Yeah, that was why I don't wonder why. Does anybody know? I haven't looked at it. I haven't cared, but why they changed actresses for Sleepaway Camp too? Clive has some great movies, so I'm sure his books are even better. Yeah, I imagine the books are like super good compared to, because they can't 100% do everything that he envisions in those movies, man, because he's got a great imagination. I'm a big horror fan, though. I don't remember. I would look it up. Yeah, let me know. The actor only did a few movies. Did Tom Savini do the effects in this? I wouldn't be surprised if he did. The Burning. This movie isn't that bad. Oh, I remember. You know who helped write this original story? I remember looking it up. Harvey fucking Weinstein. So now you know why there's quite a bit of nudity in this movie. He come up with the original story for this. Special effects. It says Daryl Fernucci did the special effects. I know Tom Savini did. Ooh, in the face. I saw the Shield guys when they came out on the seats and they were like rehearsing or something. And the security guy told me to leave. I was going, you going to the restroom. True story. That's kind of funny. Romero did the special effects for what? He didn't do it for this movie. Not, I mean, he's not listed on Internet Movie Database. You remember? Did you watch? Were you here? I was one of the first watch-alongs we did. I was a movie I recommended was Midnight Meat Train. I love Midnight Meat Train. Um, Bradley Cooper is very underrated. He's a good actor in that movie. Do you think we might see Bill Goldberg? I think he said he's got at least one more match on his career. I mean, on his contract. So I would not be surprised if he didn't either enter the Rumble to set up a match, or they'll do something where he might be involved in a match at WrestleMania. Goldberg beating Owens and the Fiend is ridiculous. I know it. I was told. Midnight Meat Train went directly to my old local Dollar Theater, so I made the trek out there. Did you like it? I love Midnight Meat Train. It's a little, the wind and is a little weak, but man, like Bradley Cooper, that was one of the first times I remember seeing him. He is so good in that movie. He's like, back then you knew he was such a good actor that he only went off on a tangent and did those Hangover movies. And I knew after seeing that it wasn't going to be much time before we see him acting in like a really good movie. Don't think Felissa Rose wanted to return as Angela, so Pamela Springsteen took her place. And yes, yeah, I know she is related to Bruce. I think it might be his sister. But yeah, why wouldn't she want to come back? I mean, what the fuck is she doing back then other than that? What do you think of Dean Ambrose, or should I say Dean Ambrose? You mean John Moxley? He left WWE and became a joke. He's not. Well, he was kind of a joke in the WWE at the time. Hey, Slaughter High is getting ready to come on here, dude. They got a lot of good movies on Tubi. We got plenty to choose from, but we'll do Bloody Murder next week. Happy Birthday to Me is right there, and then they got Intruder, which we were talking about. Shit, my remote. I'm setting this block, and I got my coat. I got the gold coat laying right there. You know what the gold coat that I wear in the videos? I'm getting ready to do a video with the gold coat on. The Graveyard is supposed to be Bloody Murder 3. The Graveyard? Then I might not have seen that one then. Well, the reviews were terrible, but it looked good, so I was interested. I actually really liked it a lot. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's like, one of my favorite movies or whatever, but I was pleasantly surprised when I saw it because I had no expectation of it being any good. Yeah, John Moxley, he's okay. I think he acts a little bit over the top. I was like, I gotta move my when he comes out, like he's really smug and he thinks he's way better than he is. I mean, he really is the third best member of the Shield. Clarissa Rose has been piggybacking on that movie her entire career. Yeah, did she think or her family think that she would be much bigger and better than that movie and that she was, should rise above it? And then ended up not doing anything, and now she's like riding the coattails of that movie her whole life. Heard the guy who wore an Angela mask for the reveal and one was traumatized by it. I could see that, but I don't know. Nowadays, I would ride that shit out. I would be at every. Is he still alive? I'd be where I would have been at every Comic-Con, every horror convention. I would just be riding that thing out, making bank on that. I think they got the dude hammered and he agreed to do the scene. I don't know. I guess I'd probably have to be hammered to do that too. It didn't list him on Internet Movie Database, but I might have clicked on maybe it was a different category. But I like Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead. I'm gonna say something you guys will probably be pissed about, but I think as I'm gotten older, I like Creepshow 2 better than Creepshow. Don't shoot me. Monkey Shines is not bad. The Burning has some cool special effects. The Prowler is another underrated slasher, in my opinion. Yeah, we watched Prowler last week, and I was really impressed with some of the effects in that. They did because he used his knife and sword a lot. It's got some really good effects in there. My wife says John Moxley is a great wrestler. She's mad at you. I don't think he's a great wrestler. I think he is a good wrestler, but I don't think that if he was in the WWE, he would be main eventing shows. And if he does, it wouldn't be very often. Seth Rollins is a much better wrestler than he is, and Roman Reigns at this point is much better wrestler than he is. What's up, man? Hey, good old Peter Anthony. Hey, yeah, I see his comment down here. Cody, he's talking to you, brother. Moxley is annoying. Yeah, that smug attitude and the way he comes to the ring gets on my nerves every time. Of all the Freddy and Jason movies, Freddy vs. Jason has some of the worst acting and atrocious dialogue, but I still enjoy it. But isn't that the case with most of them? They most all have atrocious dialogue, but that's not why we watch it. Peter. Oh, look, he agreed with me. Creepshow 2 is better than 1. Now, I like Creepshow 1, and it's got some good chapters in it, but there's a lot of weak ones. It's over the top. It looks too much like a comic book. Like they try to do that lighting like they did in that Christmas Bloody Christmas, where it's I'm getting distracted by the girl unbuttoning her shirt. Sorry. It just looked cheesy. The stories in Creepshow 2 to me are much better and much more thought out. And I don't know. I don't know why. I just like it better. Hey, you said Creepshow 2 is better too. I should do a video about that. Maybe I get some hits because I mentioned that to somebody on one of their channels, and they basically said I didn't know what the hell I was talking about. To be put on Slaughter High. Yeah, it did that for me too. Slaughter High is okay. It's not that good. I appreciate you coming on, Maddie. Had you been on one of my live streams before? I appreciate you coming on here tonight. He's a backyard wrestler. He would have fit in good. Yeah, with the original ECW. Yes, he is. He is an indie wrestler at heart, and he still looks and acts like an indie wrestler. He's not polished at all. Okay, they cut it. It is Tom Savini. The oil slick is one of my best segments in any film ever. I like that because it was surprising how they did it at the end. But I like the hitchhiker scene. Thanks for the ride, lady. Thanks for the ride. That reminds me of Terrifier, the original one, the way that unfolded with him getting in the girl's car or chasing her in the car. And even the Wooden Indian segment is good. I just like the segments better. I'll check that out, Maddie, is what Peter said. I've seen Creepshow the first season only on DVD. It's cool. Season 2 is good. It's not as many. The episodes are more hit or miss, but it's got a couple of good ones sprinkled in there. The pacing in Creepshows too is a lot faster. I admit that. It's just it's written better. I mean, it's got better dialogue. The Creepshow, the original one, is in the style of a comic book, and so it's really choppy. And some of the stuff to me just doesn't. Obviously, I like the segment with the crate, and I like the segment with at the end with the roaches. But other than that, never seen it, so turn it off. I'll watch Slaughter High some other time. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. This movie is okay. It's not high on my list. I think I've stopped by once before, but very briefly when you were wrapping up. Well, I really appreciate it. So, man, next time you can, hopefully you can stop by and watch some other ones with us. We're gonna watch Bloody Murder next week. Have I seen the Curse films on Shutter? Yeah, I've watched those, and I'd already heard most of those stories though. Because oh, dude, what's up with this? They didn't want us. I got to see like penises on my television. We got to get this off of here. Somebody should have warned me. You guys, you guys didn't do me no solids there, man. Horror High was a good movie. Yeah, I admit that is pretty good. Just wish the video quality was better on this. Yeah, well, sometimes they they don't get the remastered version. This is basically like a VHS quality on this damn thing. The burning looked pretty good though, other than it was a little dark. Laughing my ass off. Yeah, dude, I don't need to be seeing penises in here, dude. Get this off of my television. What was on here at the bottom? I'll start something else till we wrap up. They got Return to Horror High, Bloody New Year. Popcorn's on here. That's a good one. We need to watch Popcorn. Hey, they got Return of the Living Dead. I didn't know that was on here. Chopping Mall, Maniac. Shit, we got all kinds of movies we can watch. We need Jeff to do yeah, we do. Shut up, man. I'm trying. I would have done it if I didn't get my promotion, dude. I put in a lot of hours. As you notice, I haven't done my actual Jeffy Award show, so that's behind. Um, Cursed Films is awesome. Yeah, I loved hearing about the uh, uh, Poltergeist, the little girl. That was one of my favorite ones. Yeah, get those penises off my television. I don't need that. But you're right, man. I told you I needed to do at least Vengeance. If you guys don't know, Vengeance 2 Bloodlines, that's the continuation of Vengeance, was the Friday 13th fan film. That's really excellent. Came out this year. Jason Brooks, and then he also played Jason in it. Those are really good. Peter is actually the star of Fall of Camp Blood, so he did a really good job in there. So I'm looking forward to some of Peter's future projects where he's doing some acting in there. Yeah, look at that. So you got the eggplant on there, ring a ding dong. I don't need any of that. That should have come with a warning of graphic nudity, like we said. When it says graphic nudity, it's male nudity. Oh, always, man. You know it. So, everybody, I'm not going to spoil it, but I've already told Peter. I've got my award show that's going to be coming out. I was supposed to record it today, and then I had to do something personal. I'm going to record it this week, and it'll probably be out by next week. It's going to be my favorite or least favorite things that happened in movies and pop culture in 2022. If you didn't watch it, I did a 2021 version last year, and I gave Peter's Roseblood my fan film of the year because I loved it so much. And I gave him what I call a Jeffy Award. So I'm giving him another Jeffy Award for the work he's done helping with movies. I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is, so you have to watch it. Jeff Hardy should have been done after his match with Sting and Victory Road. Dude, is that too many chances? Yeah, he's never gotten clean, and I don't think he ever will be. He's going to end up killing himself driving drunk one day. That's a great movie, Popcorn. We need to have a basket full of Tubi movies and pull one out, and we watch that sometime. My wife says Matt Hardy is her favorite. I like Matt Hardy. It's in my living room next to the Lars Award, my fave. Yeah, Peter. I it was really cheesy. I didn't have any way of making one, but I gave Peter an actual statue I made, and I put a gold logo on there. Well, they were talking about early Peter that they wanted me to make a T-shirt with my hockey mask logo on it, and put, instead of like live, I could put like for life, like the NWO, and then put "Let's Go" on it. Would anybody buy a shirt if I made one? They gave him too many chances. Yeah, I know. Talking about Jeff Hardy. Broken Matt Hardy was genius. It was. There's no way that shouldn't have worked with like him and Bray Wyatt. Do it. Yeah, I should do it. Let me know, where did you get your merch made? I forget. You sent me the link and I forgot. Um, I'm hoping Chris Stuckman Shelby Oaks does a Fathom event for its release. Yeah, I know he's a really good guy, man. He was one of the people that kind of influenced me to start on YouTube. Um, delete, delete, delete. Yeah, delete, delete. That was a good gimmick. I forgot. I'll look now. Yeah, let me know, because I'm not saying I'll do. I'm gonna do the Patreon next. When I hit 2,000 subscribers is when I'm gonna do my Patreon. Redbubble, it's called. Was that easy to set up? Because I could end up doing. I got some ideas of stuff I could do with my logo. Um, but yeah, especially or with my name, JEFFMAN316. But that's cool. Were you on anybody's stream tonight, Peter? I saw you were on one the other night. So we'll be back next Sunday, and we'll watch Bloody Murder on here, and then we got to decide if we ended up. We'll make plans for sure of whether we're going to do watch the Royal Rumble on that Saturday or not. So yeah. So what were you doing earlier? It's a shame they can't keep delaying the Tammy Sitch trial. We all know she's guilty as hell. She deserves to go to jail. Yeah, man. She talk about somebody's got many chances. The Deleter of Worlds was cool too with Bray. Yeah, that was what I was talking about. There's no way that shouldn't have worked. The People Under the Stairs is a good movie. Yeah, that's kind of underrated. No, going on Flats to support soon. He is running late. You talking about tonight? Man, it's like, how far behind is he? Is he like 2 hours behind me? Hey, man, if Miami had not had their quarterback hurt, they would have ended up beating the Bills. Saturday the 14th, we might watch the Royal Rumble that Saturday. I don't know if I'm gonna do 2 live streams. Cody, I'm answering your message. He quoted me. Well, I'm just saying, if you're here, he quoted me the same price you listed. So I guess that's what he's telling both of us. Sonny or Tammy should be in prison for the rest of her life. Ain't that the damn true? Watching Dolphins do played good for a decimated team. Yeah, I agree. They might would have had a chance if Tua had been there. 1 hour behind me. We'll talk about it next week. I don't know that I want to do a live stream on Saturday and Sunday. We might do the Royal Rumble if Cody really wants to do it. What we could do is, if you don't have the Royal Rumble, we could have another movie playing behind it in the background. But somebody asked me earlier who my pick is. I think I'm going for Cody Rhodes, probably is my pick. But yeah, we'll decide all that next week. I really appreciate you guys turning out. We had a really good lively stream tonight. It's getting better and better. You guys rule. I appreciate all you guys that come on here. I need to figure out. I'm out, my man. I'll talk to you later. As far as the burning is a classic. Yeah, I appreciate you stopping by and saying hi, man. I always appreciate you coming by. Anything you do to support the channel, throw a like on the video, please, on the stream. I hope the Cowboys win. We beat the 49ers and Giants win, and we hope, dude, I think Dallas got a good chance to beat the Bucks, but I don't think the 49ers defense is so good. And their offense, as long as that guy doesn't throw picks, is built pretty sound to where they just got the same offense running no matter what quarterback's in there. I think we have enough wrestling fans to do it, and like the other watch along, it doesn't have to be. Yeah, that's true. Other than that's like 3 damn hours, dude. Jacksonville surprised me, and to know that Khan's son runs that AEW thing. Yeah, that's true. What's up? Yeah, anybody that's here, make sure you drop a like on the video before you leave, or the stream. I mean, it helps. I'm surprised we only got one porn person in here tonight. Usually we get more, but it's getting pretty lively. I'm really starting to like these live streams. I really support. I like the fact that we got some female opinions coming up in here. It's not just male dominated, and I like that we got people from all over. But the cool thing about it, it sounds like, even though we might not 100% agree on the movies, a lot of the movies that we do like are pretty much the same. As far as, decent quality horror, doesn't all have to be mainstream movies. Yeah, we had a good chat. I really appreciate it. All of you guys that come on here. Yeah, Maddie's cool. Yeah, she was I like getting you people in here and giving us. We love you, man. I love you guys too. Like I said, it looks like I'm not with my job. It's just going to be busier during the week. I need to probably just record more stuff in like one session and edit it. If you notice, I didn't get a lot of videos out this week. But I'm also hoping that I can hire some people, and then it'll help me at work, and I don't have to put as many hours in. So, but I think I'm getting ready to drop off here in a few minutes. So I'll post the thing probably around Wednesday, and I need to do a better job of sharing that stuff. But any of you guys, once I post it, if I do it early, if you guys will do me a favor and share this stuff, get it around. Hopefully we have you watched the documentary? Which documentary? Talking about the one I bought? I have watched that. It's good. Have a good night. Appreciate it, Skull Crusher. Gonna call and cancel my mortgage payment so I can grab some Jeff Man. Cody, you rule, man. I love you, guy. Thanks all. Thanks, Maddie. Really appreciate you coming by, man. Thanks for supporting the channel. Watch any of my other videos. I know I try to make playlists because I know I got a lot of people who don't like watching those movie hunts. So I got a lot of my stuff about Halloween. Go look at that Spirit Halloween video I did. I got a lot of stuff. I divide up playlists of my movie reviews and unboxings and stuff. And that way it makes it easier where if you don't like movie hunts or whatever, you don't have to just watch everything that I post. Hey, brother, have a great night. I hope you reach 2,000. Hopefully we will. That's a we, man. I can't do this without you guys. I can't do it without you, but like I said, I've gotten 14 subscribers in the last week, so we're at 1914, so we're getting there. Do the hatchet wielding hitchhiker. What is that? What are you talking about? I'm sorry, it's Maddie, my bad. Yeah, she knew what she was talking about. Oh, that's how I found you. I love movie hunts. Oh, appreciate that. I like to do a mix. I'm gonna start. Well, one of the things Cody gave me the idea, and like I said, I'm gonna be doing. That's what I'm gonna start in 2023. Is I'm not gonna, unless I have strong feelings like I did about Megan, I'm not gonna post a lot of movie reviews of mainstream movies because I just don't get the hits. But I am gonna start taking some of these older movies. Maybe I'll do Saturday the 14th. And then maybe once a week, I'm going to do like a retro review of something older that I either recommend or I pulled out of the off the shelf and watched it and thought it was hot garbage. And do some older movies that people may not have heard of, and start spreading the word of some of that older stuff. Too sweet. Had a good time as always. Yeah, appreciate you. I always do. I love seeing the same names pop up in here. The documentary on Netflix about what? Which documentary are you talking about? And nice having you in the chat, Maddie, and have a good night. Yeah, as you can see, we got a good core group of guys here. Skull Crusher, Cody, Scott, Arturo, Doug, Mr. Old School, Peter Anthony comes in and supports me. And now we got Maddie. Hope she'll come back. Yeah, we got a good core group of people that like to talk, chat, real respectful for each other. We don't, we go off on tangents, but I always try to keep the chat going as far as I'm looking back. So hopefully I do a pretty good job of that. To be the man, you got to beat the man. Yep. Woo! Thank you, Dougie. Yep. Thank you, Maddie, for coming by. And like I said, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. unless you guys got anything, we're going to watch Bloody Murder. Like I said, I'll make the post this week. I went to a flea market a month or so ago, and I got a video of that coming out, talking about movie hunts. I'll do my normal movie hunt this week. And then I found a couple of movies at Family Dollar, had some clearance DVDs, and I bought a couple. So I'll have a couple movie hunts coming out for people like Maddie that do like that. He was a guy who saved someone, but then 3 months later turned out he was a murderer. Well, that's not good. Good night, everybody. Yep. All right, Doug, I really appreciate you coming by again. I'm glad you got to come back on since it's Sunday night. So you guys know I always appreciate all you guys that come out and support my channel. Yeah, I knew what you meant. All of you guys are important to me, and I say guys and now gals are important to me. I appreciate all of my supporters. Anybody that spends a minute watching my videos, you know I really do appreciate it. And so if you guys don't have anything, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to close out of here. And I'll say the same thing I always do. This is JEFFMAN316, your pop culture reporter, and I'm signing out. You guys be safe out there.
Mr. Mayor, Chief, ladies and gentlemen,